and today I'm going to tell you all the story of Medusa. Have you ever heard of Medusa? Well, we all know Medusa in Greek mythology with her crown of snakes. Less is known of how Medusa became the terrifying monster we know of her today. So now, let me tell you her story. Medusa is well known to have hair made of snakes and the ability to turn people into stone just by looking at her. But did you know that Medusa was once a beautiful young woman with pale white skin, beautiful locks of hair, and beauty so mesmerizing she had a lot of suitors. However, Medusa was also a priestess to the goddess Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom, and for that, she needed to remain virgin while in service to her. While Medusa was praying in Athena's temple, she caught the eye of the sea god, Poseidon, who then later raped her and assaulted her in Athena's very temple. Athena was enraged by this, by how they defiled her temple, and by how Medusa had broken her vow of celibacy. "What have you done, Medusa?" "Athena, I'm so sorry, but it wasn't my fault. It was Poseidon who forced himself upon me." "Oh, shut it! It is all your fault, and for that I shall curse you. From now on, your hair will turn into snakes. Your pale white skin will be hard and scaly, and worst of all, nobody could look at you in the eye without turning into stone." Medusa, however, never wanted to use this power. She instead retreated to a dark cave where she could never look upon a friend nor an animal without killing them. So she tried to live a life of solitude, only wanting peace and quiet. But even though she never wanted to hurt anybody, the fact that she had the ability to do so meant that she will never have a quiet life. Soon after, men came in search for her. Eventually, Perseus, the son of Zeus. Perseus was raised by King Polydectes, a cruel, unforgiving king. However, he pretended to be kind and caring. After several years, Polydectes asked Perseus' mother, Danae, to marry him. Now, his evil thoughts have turned him into a nasty man. He had thought of a way on how to get Danae to marry him by getting rid of her son, Perseus. He pretended that he was going to marry a daughter of a friend of his. He invited everyone to the wedding and everybody needed to bring a present for him, including Perseus. For Perseus wasn't only very brave and very strong, but he was also very poor. Polydectes pretended to be angry and furious when Perseus gave him nothing. "What? No wedding present? Is this all the thanks I get for raising you all these years?" "I am sorry, Polydectes, for I have no money. However, you shall ask for anything, and I shall get it for you." And as if Polydectes said to the crowd, he yelled, "Bring me the head of Medusa!" Perseus was tricked on retrieving the head of Medusa in hopes that he would not survive. However, little did Polydectes know, Perseus was guided by the goddess Athena and the god Hermes on his journey to Medusa's lair. He was given winged sandals, a sack known as a kibisis, and the invisibility helmet of Hades. He was also given an adamantine sickle from Hermes. Perseus finally arrived at Medusa's home, where she was sleeping peacefully. He stood over her sleeping body. Athena guided Perseus' hand to chop off Medusa's head, while he looked upon the reflection of his bronze shield, so as not to turn into stone. He chopped off Medusa's head and placed it inside his kibisis. But as he was about to leave, the two sisters of Medusa woke up from their slumber and tried to pursue Perseus. However, Perseus was using the invisibility helmet, meaning he could not be seen. Even after death, Medusa's head has remained powerful, with the ability to turn anyone into stone whilst looking at it. Perseus has used it as a weapon, eventually giving it to Athena, who placed it in the center of her shield. Perseus has caused more death, more destruction, using Medusa's head post-mortem to what Medusa has ever done in all the time she was alive. And yet, Perseus was hailed as a hero, while Medusa was called a monster. So, the moral of the story is, bad situations do not make you a bad person. Well, there are alternative stories saying that Athena had given Medusa the curse in a form of empowerment rather than punishment. She made her fearsome by giving her the ability to defend herself, and that nobody could harm her anymore. And yet Medusa never abused this power or used it. She instead hid away in a dark cave for the sake of others. She was a woman who had experienced violence and injustice, yet she still showed compassion for those who needed it. For me, she isn't a monster nor a sexual object. She's just a woman trying her best to be a good person. And that is my story about Medusa. Thank you for listening. May God bless us all.